perfect. Like, get the show rolling. Next comment coming up. I just met him at the Palm. When I say I just met him, I saw him at the Palm, and he was like, I'm coming over. I was like, bet. And I know that sounded weird. That sounded like pause. I feel like a pause should be inserted. I mean, $20 is $20. Next comment coming to the stage, though. I'm pretty sure he's super cool. You guys go level. Start clapping right now for Mr. CJ Coleman, everybody.
I left the Palm and I just realized that my pen exploded all over my pants. I don't know. Yeah, right? Like, I don't really have a joke for this, but these are new, and I got blue balls constantly. So I grew up in the suburbs, if you couldn't tell. You know, I look like the type of guy that grows up in suburbs. I wanted to be a rapper. I had two things I always wanted when I grew up was cornrows and a grill. With a last name like Coleman, you have to have a grill. Like, two things I don't have right now are hair and a grill. And either way, like, I can't cook on a grill. I can't. But when you grow up in the burbs and you want to be a rapper, it's only natural that once you turn 18, you go in the military. So I did 5 years on a submarine. Some things they don't tell you about the submarine is that it's an all-male crew. Yeah, and that's really the biggest thing that they don't tell you about being on a submarine. The next thing I didn't find out till I got there is that with an all-male crew, like, I apparently have a big ass. Like, nobody told me that till I got there. I got there and people were coming up to me and they were telling me, "You're my flooding buddy." I didn't know what that meant. I was really happy because I can't make friends that easily. And so I had like 5 people come up to me and be like, "You are my flooding buddy." A flooding buddy is the last person you're going to have sex with once the boat starts to flood. I had 5 before I found out what that meant. They should have called it a bukkake buddy. Yeah, I found out. Yeah, it was fucked up. The next thing about being on a submarine that I wasn't prepared for is for every 3 people, there are 2 beds. Yeah, you're giving me that look. Yeah. 2 beds, flooding buddies. I never had to worry about where to sleep. I just had to worry about which way I was facing. It's like prison, ass to the wall. But I got out. That was cool. Thanks, cocaine. Hey, sometimes it snows in California, too. It's fine. I kept all my benefits. They just kind of fast forward my life a little bit, and now I get paid. I get paid to not be in the Navy. The American government, they were like, "Hey, man, we kind of fucked you up," and I was like, "No, you didn't, but thanks for the check." I don't like blaming other people for my problems because, it's not their fault. Usually, it's mine. But I like to blame my family because I didn't plan on growing up and looking like this. I'm 25 and I'm fucking bald. I look like Uncle Fester fucked Charlie Brown. It's not cool. It really fucked up me getting any pussy later on in my life. And it's not my fault. It's my dad's fault. Because my dad's bald. And honestly, it's not his fault. It's his dad's fault. Because he didn't know him. I'd imagine that fucks you up as a kid. That stresses you out. It makes you lose your hair. I didn't fucking want this. I'm hearing impaired. That's what I call it. I went to the doctor. They told me I had alopecia. I don't know what having a sunburn has to do with anything. That's cool. Being bald in your 20s is a lot like being an alcoholic. I'm both. Like in.
Two bad things right there.
So I have a racist grandfather. I know this is an all-black room. This can go a lot of ways. This can end with me getting the shit kicked out of me outside, or it can make you laugh.
You good, man.
Hell yeah.
It's basic comedy, man.
But I got a racist grandfather, but he has a really good excuse. He's got brain damage. So every time he says some out-of-pocket shit, he's like, my brain just doesn't really work like that. And it's like, yeah, but when it was working, you said this shit. Like, this has never been okay. Everyone wants to know what side of history their grandparents fall on. He's been pretty transparent. I'm Puerto Rican, and my abuela, she has to live with the guy. I feel bad for her, but she created the best solution. She just feeds him weed. She just gives him about 200 milligrams of edibles, and he just stares out the window and thinks the government's coming after him. He's weird. He's weird. I'll go over there, and he'll be like, hey, I got to talk to you. I'll be like, okay, Gramps. He'll be like, no, put your phone in the trunk. Dude, the government doesn't care what a brain-damaged alcoholic has to say. They don't. They already won. I mean, alcoholism kind of drives in my family. It's DUIs are better than a DNA test. It's more of a rite of passage. Like, I got my first one when I was 17. Yeah, well, what they don't tell you is when you get a DUI at 17, you're forced to go to therapy. And I don't know what I said to my therapist, but like the second day I go in there, he goes, are your parents here? And I was like, yeah, my parents are here. And he goes, all right, bring them in. So I brought my parents in, and he sits us all down. And I looked at them, and he goes, you got to give them up to the state. They were like, what? Like, who the fuck? I don't know what I said to him, but I never went back to that therapist. That's not really a joke. This is just kind of a sad story. I'll figure out how to make it funnier. Thank you, guys. I'm CJ Coleman.
Good job, brother.
Keep it going for CJ Coleman. Yeah. All right. Now we're moving on to the last comic.